is there one case in your 25 years that you're most proud of in sort of advancing the cause of justice, where the enlightenment you brought to the case may have helped get the proper outcome?
Well, there have been so many stories. And, I guess when it comes down to it, the ones that I get sort of feel somewhat proud of are the ones where it appeared that the state got it wrong, and we were able to go and have a good look, and in the end, the decision changed, and somebody was released after all and freed because, at least in part, possibly, of something that we did, or at least, we were reporting it along the way and it didn't hurt. Put it that way.
And as you mentioned in your podcast, it's very seldom that retrials happen. Where
appeals courts are generally pretty reluctant to have a trial. Once a jury has made a decision, that jury's decision, they want it to stand. The whole system really depends on what a jury decides, and unless there's some error in what the judge did, or some error in what the officials of the court did in the original trial, the appeals court usually just leaves things as they are. And even if it can be demonstrated that somebody is provably innocent of the crime for which they were convicted, it often takes several decades before it finally, very, very slowly works its way through the system and gets up to a habeas corpus that's heard in some higher court. And then the process can still be very gradual before somebody finally gets out. So it's quite a process.
But something similar happened in the Thing About Pam, where I don't want to give away too much if people are about to enter into this extraordinary podcasting experience. So I'll let you tell the backstory, Keith.
Oh boy. Well, let me see. Telling a backstory about the Thing About Pam.
There are many things about Pam, P.S.
There are many things about Pam. And in our explorations of her life and times, we discovered that she had been for years and years and years doing things that perhaps wouldn't live up to people's expectations of moral behavior, if I can put it as mildly.
That's a good way to put it.
Well, you should speak at her funeral. That was really very good. It's about as well as anyone's going to do on Pam.
But she was very good at doing bad things and then making sure somebody else paid the penalty for them, or at least was blamed for them in some way or other. And that's how this story came to be. And is continuing, by the way. It's not over yet.
Wow.
And the interesting thing about it is that this person, this Pam Hop is her name. And I highly recommend, this is really a wonderful mystery. She was the last person to see 3 different people alive, and all that implies. Yeah. And they wandered through 3 different trials, and still, as you say, Keith, justice has not necessarily been served.
It's not finished yet, and I'm not sure it ever will be. In one of the cases, a certain person fell off a person who was very close to this Pam fell off a balcony in her old folks' home and fell down 3 stories and landed on the ground and was killed. So we found it very strange that she would go flying through a metal balcony railing. It's your typical metal balcony railing. That flimsy, we thought. So we went and tested it, and we used those very same kind of railings, actually a little tiny bit thinner, so they wouldn't be as strong as the ones that were used. And we ended up putting, I think at the end, well over 1,000 pounds of weight slamming down on these tines of the balcony railings, and they held firm. They didn't break. We got an expert who was able to tell us this balcony would not have broken the way it did, bent and broken railings everywhere, unless it was hit with something extremely powerful. And supposedly this elderly lady crashed through the balcony when she happened to, fall over on her, just fall over. So clearly